of the most famous actors of this generation, Christian Bale is a man known for his transforming performances and dedication to his roles. But his Hollywood journey has been a roller coaster ride, marked by several highs and lows and shaped by a blend of personal experiences and professional choices. His career started out with a career-defining role at just 13 years old in Empire of the Sun by Steven Spielberg. The film was released on December 11, 1987, and is a story about Jim Graham, a young English kid who was separated from his family during the Japanese invasion of China in World War II. The movie revolves around Jim's innocence and the little understanding of the political conflicts that he's got. It's a story of the experiences of the loss that he's faced, as many did during the war. Christian's portrayal of this young boy was very powerful and earned him a lot of praise. However, receiving so much fame at such a young age took its own toll on his mental health. From a young age, Christian struggled with the responsibilities that came with being a widely acclaimed lead actor, and he has since then always considered quitting the industry. Despite being successful at a very early age, his following roles didn't always reach the same level of critical acclaim and hype. His projects like The Newsies and Swing Kids didn't have the same magic as Empire of Suns, and Christian admitted his heart wasn't fully in acting, which showed on the big screen. However, lucky for us and for him, he eventually found his way back to acting and took on many challenging roles that refueled his passion for art. His legendary performance as Patrick Bateman in the 2000 satire film American Psycho was a turning point in his career. The film explored darker and more complex characters, with Christian at the center of it all. The film commented on everything from capitalism to toxic masculinity and fanaticism, and cemented Christian Bale into the scrolls of history as a versatile actor. Most of his significant roles have been all about physical transformation. He gained and lost a lot of weight for multiple characters, showing that he's never afraid to go to extremes to ensure his portrayals is real. This dedication was evident in his portrayal of Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy, which started with Batman Begins in 2005 and ended with The Dark Knight Rises in 2012. His portrayal of the Dark Knight of Gotham City was extremely detailed and complex, and he has since then been cited as one of the best actors to play the iconic character. The trilogy was a huge success and is a fan favorite to this day, regarded as a cinematic masterpiece. However, with great success comes great pressure, and Christian has felt the brunt of it all. When asked about the possibility of a Dark Knight 4, he said that he would only ever entertain the possibility if Nolan was the one directing it. Unfortunately, even though Nolan has recently received an Oscar for Oppenheimer, he ain't got no interest in directing another superhero movie. And sadly for fans, the possibility of a Dark Knight 4 is as small as a dust speck. However, Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother and a writer on the Dark Knight trilogy, did show some interest in returning to the franchise, so maybe the fandom still got hope. Christian's career ain't all about mainstream blockbuster films. He can really well manage some artistic films too. Like his portrayal of Dick Cheney in Vice and a drug-addicted boxing trainee in The Fighter shows his range as an actor. For the latter, he received an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And yet, despite all his success, Christian is not the happiest guy around. He's got a love-hate relationship with his career. After all, his career started with a need to support his family at a young age. His father was a former pilot and a financial advisor and was always advising Christian to stay adventurous. As a kid, Christian and his family moved around the United Kingdom a lot. The nomadic lifestyle and the financial struggles he faced were the prime motivator for Christian to get into acting, and these same reasons left him doubtful of his place in the vast industry. His career almost ended after the fame of the Empire of the Sun and the consequent struggle that he had to face. To Christian, the experience was highly traumatic and he wanted to quit acting altogether. Despite all of his doubts about it, in recent years, Christian has taken up many diverse roles. He played the villain in Thor: Love and Thunder, showing how even if Nolan wasn't up for another superhero film, he was. He also collaborated with esteemed directors like David O. Russell and Scott Cooper, which resulted in films like America Hustle, Amsterdam, and The Pale Blue Eyes. These films all showcase that he can still deliver powerful performances. Now, despite his success, Christian is realistic about his plans and never stops wishing that he could finally step away from the spotlight once and for all. He likes taking breaks from acting and has even gone as far as to say that he could go forever not working. He's got so much acclaim and he's still a down-to-earth person, showing his character and values. It's refreshing. His huge career comes with his philanthropic efforts. He's been deeply involved with SOS Children's Villages California, an organization that supports foster children with the sole aim of keeping siblings together. Ain't no doubt he wants to make a positive impact beyond the confines of the film industry. Now maybe this is his way of finding balance and doing something meaningful outside the made-up world of Hollywood. His journey through Hollywood has been nothing but fascinating to see. If we start to get into the nitty-gritty of it, there's a lot to unpack. What makes him tick? And why is he on the path that he is? It ain't about the talent that he's got, but the choices that he's made and the way that he's handled the fame that came with his talent. One theory can be that his severe dedication to his roles comes from a deeply rooted need to prove himself. He started out as a kid who was already in the spotlight, and the pressure of being 13 with such a huge movie on your shoulders must have been intense. It was no wonder that he had a weird relationship with his craft. The need to constantly push himself and go to extremes for his roles might be the path that he's taken to prove his worth to himself. The attitude that he currently holds, where he's fine with not acting for the rest of his life, can also be the reflection of the pressure that he's faced, and he doesn't want to indulge in the industry's darker sides. However, we can't deny that it's refreshing to see someone of his position and caliber be so honest about how he truly feels about his career. You know, despite all of this, one thing that we know for sure is that he values the creative process a lot more than the end result. This guy isn't in it for success. He does the most challenging roles that aren't always likable because he's in it for the craft and the craft only. With his recent roles, he has only further proved that his dislike for the acting career doesn't mean that he's going to stop doing experiments and taking risks and making awesome flicks. This guy is always testing himself out, like any true hero, seeing just how far he can really push his boundaries. Stepping out of his comfort zone is the tactic that has made him a fan and a critic favorite. It's also Batman AF. So what's really happening to Christian Bale? It kind of seems like he's a man who's constantly evolving. I mean, sure, the dude's got his demons to face who don't, and he has battled them to come out on the other side. And he's still involved in his work as passionately as before, which is major kudos to the guy. But he ain't somebody who's gonna be afraid to walk away if it stops giving him any sense of fulfillment. A lot of people choose fame when they start this journey, and Christian's journey is a reminder that people can step back, take breaks, and focus on what truly matters to them, which might not always be their career at the end of the day. So what are your all's thoughts on Christian Bale? Make sure you let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.